My name's Mark Lyons. I'm a VP of Product at Dremio, and Dremio is a lakehouse platform. So we've been working to combine the best of the data warehouse and data lake into a kind of modern architecture. All companies are endlessly working on their data architectures, and I think there's a lot of conversation around modernizing those and future-proofing those, whether it's multi-cloud or open architectures, open data formats, and I think companies have a lot of work there because many companies are still using a lot of proprietary warehouses, that have a lot of lock-in and lock-out. So when new technologies come around, there's migrations. You have to remove your data from this system to load it into a new system, to adopt a new tool, and that's kind of not a great future-proof strategy. The best mitigation is kind of adopt an open data architecture strategy where all the data is staying in, open file formats, mostly Parquet these days for analytics, but Avro, JSON, whatever, and leaving that data in like an object store like AWS 3 and bringing the engines to the data instead of moving data around to proprietary engines, keeping that data in an open data architecture. Every company wants to access their data faster and do more with their data. The common pitfalls, though, are everyone's building a lot of pipelines to move data around. Each team has pipelines. Each tool requires new pipelines. And those pipelines are just redundant copies of the data that introduce a lot of risk and different answers, which for a business that doesn't really work well if you get different answers to the same question depending on who asks it to kind of which tools and technologies. So to mitigate that, it comes back to the open data architecture, because if you're bringing that data and it kind of stops at the data lake and doesn't have to go hop to these other tools, you've reduced your time to insight, you're getting your data fresher and faster, and you're not copying it. So you have a better single source of truth to give those answers. So just to kind of add on this open data architecture theme, the most exciting thing happening right now in the data lake industry or the big data platform industry is what's going on with Apache Iceberg, and it's a table format that's above Parquet to give transactional and relational guarantees on the data lake. So now you can do inserts, updates, and deletes, and it's basically the next layer in that open data architecture that drives the lakehouse concept, so giving warehouse capabilities on the data lake. So that's what I'm most excited about in our space. So Big Data London is one of the better shows in the world for these conferences. We get lots of traffic, lots of interesting conversations. I already talked to like 5 or 10 of our customers and a bunch of interesting people working on data platforms. So for me, it's a great place.